Hey, let's talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps. A new BTS just dropped. I have not seen this.
Oh no.
So I think it'll be worth seeing. Let's take a look.
If it's Pedro dancing, I'm out.
No Pedro dancing, as far as I know. But let's take a look. It's 90 seconds, worth checking out. Let's go.
Welcome to the Baxter building.
Alien life was always a foregone conclusion.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special look at Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps.
I've been a huge fan of the Fantastic Four since the beginning. I was a kid reading these comics, so the chance to help bring them to life was too hard to pass up.
And now, for the first time ever at Marvel Studios, we can make a Fantastic Four movie.
Action! We're going to build this retro future world. Build real sets, real locations. Reed's lab and the Baxter building, this incredible Times Square backlot set.
Fire it up!
We built practical suits. We are your family.
Just seeing the four of them together is going to be worth the price of admission.
I get the feeling I've already seen the whole movie. That's the feeling I get.
I mean,
but
where is production values are what's drawing me to this movie? That nothing else.
Well, I do like the practical sets, practical car.
Mm-hmm.
It seems more practical, but I'm told they don't really use their powers all that much, that their powers are about their personality. You know, Sue's leadership, Reed's
the biggest
brain.
red flag that they don't know how to do his stretchy powers. His Marvel Legends character has one accessory, and it's just the arms going long. The only thing we've seen is his arms going long and his legs. Like, they're gonna have zero imagination with Reed, his powers.
69. At least it's his arms growing long.
Just hey, man, I'd rather use it if you got it. There's a reason they're happily
There's
married.
a reason why Sue stays with the man.
Thank you, Don. I was saying there's a. But they're gonna have
Sue is a very happy woman.
I'm very happy that they're.
She could be anywhere in the house. That's.
Oh my god!
Best ingredients don't matter if you don't know how to cook.
Did you notice what Kevin Feige said? It was exciting. It was exciting to finally bring the four back together versus Han, Luke, and Leia.
Right. Oh my god! But what do we? I just feel like the hype for this movie is really kind of not there. Am I wrong?
You know what? I think I figured out why, actually. I think because everything we've seen is kind of just all leading to the same place, and we all kind of almost know how it's going to end. So there's no excitement, man. We know Galactus is coming, right? It's
right.
We've seen nothing between that and them, you know, being on that stupid TV show every time, right? I just think that I feel like the art of making a trailer has been lost. Right, like even forget Fantastic Four. Even most trailers I watch, I'm looking at it like there's no inspiration here. I have no desire. I have no incentive to go watch your film if I already know what's going to happen. If I already kind of feel like I'll be wasting 3 hours of my time, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I've already said, like, Marvel builds upon itself. So what's come from Marvel this year that's getting you excited about this?
Nothing.
I know. This feels like
you racist. Ironheart. All right, she is iconic.
All right. Oh no,
she's iconic.
I hope she's.
It's like we had what did we have before Ironheart? We had the Thunderbolts, which didn't make any money, which flopped in the box office. Before
but that, had Fantastic Four at the end, and my fucking audience clapped, and I hear Normie saying they're happy for. So we may hate Pedro.
Is that real?
Nobody went to see it. Nobody saw it. Nobody cares. All right. Everybody's checked out of the MCU. Nobody went to, well, people did go and see, more people went to see Captain America, I think, than the Thunderbolts. I think it made more money. But again, you're just seeing diminishing returns. You're seeing less and less interest. You know, nobody cared. I mean, Daredevil was a disaster. Like
Didn't even
everything they've
chart.
done so far this year has just been terrible. So what momentum is there leading into the Fantastic Four that gets you excited, gets you hyped up? Nothing. Zero, zilch, no hype, no nothing. And that's the reason why it seems like it's under the radar. Everybody's talking about Superman for all the wrong reasons, in my opinion, but people are talking about it. Nobody's talking about the Fantastic Four.
You know,
by the way,
sorry,
real quick, more tie-ins than any recent Marvel movie. AMC, Cinemark, Alamo Drafthouse, Regal at Popcorn Buckets, Kroger. We have General Mills popcorn. We've got True Moo milk. We've got Pop-Tarts. It's crazy. And I have never seen Marvel do more merch, more marketing tie-ins than for any other film. They're banking everything on FF.
And the
Sorry,
cereal.
Dante, sorry to interrupt you, Dante.
They have that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you know, I put out a tweet a few weeks ago where I said, you know, promotion material is killing these movies, man. I hold to that. I think there needs to be one teaser, one trailer. That's it. No behind the scenes, no clips, no social media posts. Just teaser, trailer. That's it. We're done.
Well, I mean, that's marketing. You should never put anything out that's going to cast doubt on your product. And that's what Superman and that's what Fantastic Four has been doing. They put stuff out there that makes us doubt whether this is going to be a good movie or not. It makes us doubt whether they nailed the characters right as well.
Yeah.
I
think one of the missing ingredients when it came to everybody talking about the Barbie level marketing that Superman was going to do, and probably Fantastic Four as well, is that Barbie was like a new thing. Like we hadn't seen a Barbie movie before. We've seen Superman movies. We've seen Fantastic Four movies. What they really needed to do is not try to explain the characters and who they are and why they're doing what they're doing, because we already know who these characters are. Like Dante said, give me a nice trailer. All right. Give me a couple of posters, maybe Empire does their, right before the movie comes out, they do that big, expose, and that's it. That's all we need. We don't need to see trailer after clip after clip after trailer. We just it's too much. And now it's like you said, Chris, it's like I feel like I've seen the entire movie. I know everything that happens. So why do I want to even spend money to go to this? Especially when I know it's probably going to be on Disney Plus in about 3 or 4 months. I can wait.
Okay. On that note, another new clip just dropped. I'm serious.
Is this the clip where they defeat Galactus?
No, right. This is another new clip dropped. So I want to I want to just show it to you guys. Just to give you some idea.
I almost feel like we should put a spoiler warning out for these things now.
Right? I mean, this is pretty extended.
The entire movie already leaked, and then that last trailer basically proved that leak correct. So if you want to know what happens, it's easily searchable.
Well, you ready? Here we go for another clip from the Fantastic Four. Here we go.
What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
I mean, you're going to ruin your appetite.
I'm hungry.
We're never late for Sunday dinner. Should we wait?
I guess.
Yeah, she's
late.
Late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Oh, yes, we are. Really?
By a single minute.
Yes, we were just...
I had to put some aloe iodine
just
on
had
my
to-
shoulder.
I do his shoulder. And
Why is that breakfast cereal on the dinner table?
Why are you being weird?
you're not,
I'm
we're not being weird.
Well, I'm doing that weird thing with your face.
Oh, we
so.
don't know what you're talking about.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah, we're pregnant.
Yes,
How
yes.
did you know that?
Have you looked into your husband's face?
I know, he just cannot keep a secret.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What? You are gonna be the best mom. Oh my God.
And you are going to be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. But we're going to be the best uncles ever. Okay, we should eat.
The cereal, by the way, on the dinner table was Lucky Charms.
That was so terrible, man.
Little marketing tie-in. What do we think about the tone of it? It seems pretty wholesome.
The writer doesn't know comedy at all.
hole, like there's a hole that felt fucking soulless. I know Pedro is a charisma vacuum, but man, I'm even less. I'm more apathetic now than I was.
Soulless is a very good word for that, because I felt nothing.
I felt nothing.
Nope.
And
nothing.
For those asking, Pedro is doing a transatlantic dialect. I'm like, the way he used to talk in the old timey, so much so that they told him to reel it back. So that's his reserved transatlantic accent.
I don't understand why we just couldn't get a masculine Reed Richards. Like I don't understand why we couldn't get a comment for the guy who says, he grew up reading Fantastic Four and couldn't wait to bring it to the big screen, and he doesn't know how to cast Reed Richards.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Yeah. The whole thing.
It all smells really phony and really stupid.
The Thing voice is still horrible. Just sounds like a dude.
Yeah. It sounds like they're just, again, it's one of these, we got some characters that we want to make some money off of. Fantastic Four, they're finally in the house. Let's just go ahead and put a movie out there. Let's not put a lot of thought into what it is that we're doing. And it seems like they're disconnected once again from the fans. The fans aren't going to rock with this. I don't think this is going to do very well.
So at
based
least
on
with
all the
Superman,
trailers and all the clips that I've seen, man.
At least with Superman, David and Rachel and all the actual actors seem to have a lot of charisma and understand their characters.
Yeah.
So I can ignore Gunn, and you know what I'm saying? What he thinks a movie might play might be different than the way I'm going to interpret it, as opposed to that, which is just like, oh, there's just nothing there for me to latch onto.
Yeah. Whenever I hear someone from Marvel Studios say, I read the comic book, I feel like they didn't read the comic book.
You're right.
I mean, comic.
Look,
the last 5 years.
Yeah, he says he read the Fantastic Four, and I'm looking at this, I'm going, well, you got the look of the Fantastic Four. I think you saw pictures of the Fantastic Four. I don't think you ever read the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
I mean, at least with James Gunn, he read Superman. He read these characters and very familiar with these characters, and he knows
I've said that.
Comic book stories are told. But I just don't get any of that from anyone coming out of Marvel Studios anymore.
You mentioned home, DA. On the Zillow website, if you're ever looking for a home, and I'm pretty sure none of us are, because we live in California and can't afford one. But if you live in a place where you can afford a Zillow actually has a listing for the Baxter building. Guess how much it costs?
A bunch of fours.
$4,444,444, and it's 4-bedroom, 4-bath with 4,444 square feet. There are photos. Let's look at the photos here. Get a little tour of the Baxter. I gotta say, the one thing I like about this movie is the design. They even made Herbie kind of logical in that kind of retro future look. So I gotta say, I kind of like this.
Maybe the Fallout people can hire them, because I don't think we're going to get much more of this.
Oh, wait, is this they have a trailer talking about the real estate. Okay, I haven't seen this. Let's watch it. Let's watch this trailer here. Here we go. Real quick.
Hello, I'm Jack West, your Zillow partner agent. Let's take your first step into the home of tomorrow with a personal tour of the Baxter building, the iconic home of the Fantastic Four. Step inside and soak up panoramic views of the Big Apple. You might just see the Human Torch light up the sky. Over here is the sunken conversation pit, perfect for family bonding or just enjoying a quiet evening in with color television. The Baxter Building's state-of-the-art kitchens always make mealtime a breeze. Flame on with the indoor barbecue. These zoned bedrooms provide the ultimate balance of practicality and privacy. After all, even superheroes need a little downtime, especially when you're expecting a fantastic addition to the family. Working from home, this space can be stretched as far as your imagination. Perfect for science experiments, cosmic travel, or just calculating your buyability. It's been a pleasure showing you around. And remember, the future looks bright from the Baxter Building. See Fantastic Four First Steps only in theaters.
I mean, I like the retro future thing. I like the sort of Mad Men style. I kind of like it, but I think it's all about the characters.
But it's also why they needed a more masculine Reed Richards, right?
Well, they
I mean, if
cast
you're going to go
wrong.
with that
They
style,
cast wrong.
you need a masculine man to go with it. John Hamm would have been a great Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to like Human Torch's depiction either. You're not going to get the ladies' man. They may throw themselves at him, but he will not act like Human Torch.
Right,
No,
of course
he's
not.
No. Too bad.
So we're not. So we're just not pumped. Is that what it is? I mean, this is also. We saw the merch. We saw this. I don't remember more tie-ins, more clever marketing like Zillow and whatnot for any other movie they've ever done.
Oh, they might have gotten smart. They might have realized that they're not making their money back at the box office. And so like just like F1 had a bunch of sponsorships, and I realized, oh, they might have just been like, let's just make money anywhere we can.
Yeah.
Eat cereal.
I mean, we have to give them credit. I think the Zillow thing, it's clever, but they're promoting a brand more than a movie. The movie's like an afterthought, in my opinion.
Okay, here's the thing. We all know, okay, all of us are going to watch it. Like that's the thing. All of us are going to see it. That's kind of like a given, right? But I'm wondering about normies. Are normies are they excited for this? Because I mean, it's easy for us to be skeptical because we are, and even a little pessimistic because we are. But how are normies like that? That's what I don't know. I don't know.
They don't see all these
I don't know what the
clips.
gauge is for normies out there.
Well, I mean, you're asking an interesting question. I mean, are normies going to go out and see this opening night? Are they going to see it a week or two later, or are they just going to wait for it to get on Disney Plus?
The hardcores.
Well, look at again. That's why I keep saying, look at what these other Marvel properties are doing in this year, and that gives you an idea of how like locked in the normies are with the entire MCU. Because if the Fantastic Four was going to do well, we would see a swell of interest. We would hear people buzzing about it and talking about it. We would have seen the box office for all these other TV shows or movies. We would have saw that elevated. People would, okay, Thunderbolts, I'm excited. Yeah, it made like, $600-700 million. That thing crashed out, around 350? That tells me nobody's interested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, period, right now. They're like, I think a lot of people have checked out. They loved it in the first 3 phases where movies were making $1 billion, almost every single one of them. And now, I think what's the last one that made $1 billion? What was it? Not Doctor Strange.
It's a multiverse of. No, not multiverse.
No.
But yeah, that's
the Spider-Man one.
It was the closest. It was the closest to $1 billion. And it's just been downhill since then. I don't think anybody's caring. The normie, the fans, us, we're probably going to lock in and go and watch superhero movies. The normies, they've lost the general audience. They've checked out. They're going to other things. They'll watch, Top Gun Maverick, maybe check out, F1, Jurassic World. They're still interested in those movies. I don't think anybody cares about superhero movies when they talk about superhero fatigue.
Yeah, here, I'll tell you why.
I think there's a thing to it.
I'll tell you why the sponsorships are important. It's because this movie opening weekend cannot perform like Thunderbolts. It cannot perform like Captain America: Brave New World. This needs to be number one at the box office opening weekend. And decidedly so, or Marvel Studios is in big trouble. And I think that's why these sponsorship ties, these popcorn buckets are so important, because it gets the movie out there. It makes it, they've got to have a great opening weekend or it's over.
But also
I was going to say the next movie after this is Doomsday. So they got to get some momentum going. They got to build up. The next MCU movie after this, well, I think Spidey No Way Home, but the next one Marvel is doing is Doomsday. So they got to build some momentum, and they got to build it right now. And this movie had better hit, because Doomsday is going to flop on its ass.
It's not going to do that. It's not going to be the gateway to Doomsday. It's not going to be the build up. It's on its own. The other question I had was, okay, besides the normies, I think this is also going to put a spotlight on Pedro Pascal finally, right?
Yeah,
if this movie does not succeed, are the studios going to look at Pedro Pascal and say, "Oh, we banked on the wrong guy," or are they going to ignore it?
Or the audience is homophobic
anyway?
They'll blame us.
Yeah.
By the way, the next Marvel movie after this is Spider-Man with John Barenthal, and if you believe it, fucking Mark Ruffalo Hulk in a smaller. Remember, so it's no longer a bridging movie. So, man, they could just market Avengers with Robert Downey Jr. They don't need to build momentum. They could just cameos, Robert Downey Jr. And everyone that checked out maybe will start paying attention.
But do people really care about a character that's never been introduced? Like, they've never introduced Dr. Doom until this. We had a buildup for Thanos. You know, but Robert Downey Jr. by himself, is that enough to sell an entire Avengers movie and make everybody want to, oh, I got to go and see Robert Downey Jr. in this Avengers movie, even though I don't know jack shit about what he's in here, why, who's his character. I don't know anything about this movie, but I'm going to go throw all of my money into it and go watch this. Why? Why? Because I'm hoping it'll
Robert
be the
Downey
Avengers
Jr.
of yesteryear.
Not to mention how confusing is it that to a normie who's only known him as Iron Man to now see him as Doctor Doom.
I think people will make the leap. I think people want Robert Downey Jr. in it, whether it's a good move or not, or whether it'll enhance the story. That's irrelevant. I think people want
people that checked out at Endgame will like, huh?
Because quite frankly, there's no one else in the world that can get people excited about going to see an Avengers movie than Robert Downey Jr.
Chris Evans ain't doing it.
Nope.
And then who is Robert Downey Jr.'s arch nemesis going to be?
Reed, who they never met.
Richards.
Yeah, who they didn't grow
Pedro
up. They don't
Pascal.
have.
Come on, it's the winning combination. Pedro Pascal versus Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's not
showdown
money.
we've all been waiting for. All right, we've been. It's like Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. We just been waiting on this, man.
And we know how that one turned out.
Well, Elizabeth Olsen will come back and she'll be a main character, and then Riri can come and she can be a main character, and Simu Liu,
Echo,
yeah,
Agatha,
just all the. I mean, that is the report from Doomsday Avengers, that they're filming stuff on Fantastic Four's Earth, and then there's still stuff with Sentry and his mommy inside the Void. Like all the stuff from the phase that everyone ignored will be prominently wrapped up and or expanded upon in that first Avengers. Florence,
I just don't see it. I can't see. Again, we're not normies. So just like Dante said, I don't really know what the normie is feeling like, but how could you possibly care about this movie just because it has RDJ and all of those chairs, all the names on the backs of those chairs? Like, how could you possibly care about that movie coming out off of all of this crap, all of this crap that we just saw? Why would you care about anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now? I just don't see it.
They told us we don't have to care because they said the casting wasn't finished, because the script wasn't finished, right? So like they know things are going to happen, but they don't know who's going to say what depending on scheduling, which means a bunch of this actions doesn't matter, because just like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, just depends on who you choose to be in the party to say the stupid line.
Yeah.
There's no
and yet
weight to
James
it.
Gunn wants a completed script before he greenlights something.
Make it make sense, Alan.